brothers and to my parliamentary colleagues, and following Fred, again, our condolences, but you are here today doing what Elaine want you to do, and that is standing up for your values. I was pleased to be at the previous two rallies in Martin Place, and I really wanted to be here in solidarity with you. Can I just say, Bishop, you mentioned before about the unprecedented motions in the House of Representatives, but can I share with you what actually happened in the Senate? Because it's very important today that you understand it's all very well for people to come here and tell you that they support you, but when they are called upon to vote in the Houses of Parliament, it's a different story. So let me read to you the motion that I and Senator Barnett and Senator Bernardi put up in the Senate on the 22nd of June. It reads that the Senate recognises that Coptic Christians in Egypt are suffering ongoing and increasing persecution, condemns the recent attacks on Coptic Christians in Egypt, expresses its sympathy for Coptic Christians who have been victims of recent attacks in Egypt, and calls on the government to issue a public statement condemning the ongoing attacks against the Coptic Christian minority in Egypt, make immediate representations to the United Nations to end the persecution of Coptic Christians in Egypt, and strongly urge the Egyptian government to provide equal rights and protection for all Egyptian citizens regardless of race or religion. But can I tell you that the government, and I will read you what Senator Ludwig on behalf of the government said, and I quote, "We do not support the motion. We do not support the motion." So it's all very well for the Labor Party to come here today and tell you in solidarity with you. This was on the 22nd of June. And then, yes, they might have voted for the motion in the House of Representatives, but that was thanks to the work of people like Philip Ruddock and Craig Kelly that shamed them into voting. So, words, Bishop, remain on the public record. Words remain on the public record. And I want to say that on the 22nd of June, the Coalition was the one that put this forward, and the Labor Party have now been pushed into voting for it. Yes, it passed in the Senate, but I think today it's important that I set the record straight. That was the first thing. So I and my Coalition colleagues will continue to support you. For the 30,000 cops here in Australia, we will be there with you for your brothers and sisters in Egypt. But can I say this in conclusion? In conclusion, words are cheap. Actions speak louder than words. And so, now that the Senate and the House of Representatives have passed these motions, we now will be watching to make sure that the Labor Party honours the words that it says it supports and takes the requisite action, and we will be holding them to account. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Concetta. Our next speaker scheduled was meant to be the Honourable Greg Donnelly, but he apologised because a family commitment had come up, so he sends his sincere apologies. I'd like to now welcome the Honourable Amanda Fazio, Labor Member for Legislative Council. The Honourable Amanda Fazio did speak in support of Reverend Niall's motion in New South Wales State Parliament, and I'll read one snippet of her speech. She said, "I wholeheartedly endorse the motion moved by the Reverend, the Honourable Fred Niall, and call on the Egyptian government